Dominic Burke, as we know, cyber risk or the risk of being hacked is huge. So what should CEOs or CFOs be doing to protect themselves, not on the technology side, but from the insurance side?
Okay, well, if you think about 97% of all companies around the world have now been hacked, it's clearly a major issue for CEOs and boardrooms around the world. The issue for them clearly is trying to quantify where these losses are going to come from. It's an emerging risk. Particularly today, many of these risks that are going to come about are not going to be insured. So people are running their balance sheets bare of coverage. Cyberspace insurance today predominantly deals with notification and rectification, not about the actual loss when those losses relate to a particular asset. So if, for example, Sony and their recent film hack, all that intellectual capital, all those future revenue streams have been severely damaged in the terms of their potential earnings for the company. So this is a major emerging risk, and insurance companies around the world are trying to come to terms with how to provide the right sort of coverage and risk transfer for corporations.
And eventually they have to come to numbers as well. Can you talk about what the actuaries are doing right now to quantify those risks? Because they have to write the policy somehow.
Well, they're trying to keep the wording very tight and trying to limit it to physical damage related to a hacking event. But the problem is technology is moving so quickly. Look about robotics. Look around the whole technology aspect of how information is moving around the world and the value of information, big data. So insurance companies are really struggling right now to understand how to provide the level of coverage, the wording, and also the claims expertise that is going to be needed to assess and to, in effect, provide the right outcome for the insured.
Can you talk about JLT Group, your company, what you're seeing? I would think that you're seeing a big step up in the market right now.
Yeah, we trade in 40 countries around the world. We're a very specialty-driven organization, and we would regard ourselves as having probably the best cyberspace insurance team in the market, both here in the US and back in London, where I'm based. So we're really trying to lead the thinking in this space. So we're working with technology companies, trying to create a consortium of intellectual capital that enables us to provide solutions for our clients, because it's going to be not just the capital providers, the insurance risk takers, not just ourselves providing the advisory nature of what is possible, but also the tech companies helping produce some of the solutions as well.
When you say you're working with tech companies, do you recommend a company use a particular type of technologies, or else you won't insure them, or they get cheaper coverage if they use a particular company?
Great, I think it's
really, are you agnostic? How does it work?
No, I think you're absolutely on the button. I think this is where it's going to get to. I think there's going to have to be consortiums and collaborations of various organizations to produce the outcome. I don't think this is going to be a solution that's purely a risk transfer of transferring the risk to a major corporation, a major insurer. I think it's going to be much more than that, because the policies are going to be structured that you're going to have a minimum level of protections around what you do. And that is really a technology solution as well as the risk transfer solution. So yes, we will get to a point where the outcome will be a consortium of providers.
And then finally, it's still early in the cyber insurance space. Other than JLT, who's doing it now? Just talk about the competitive landscape.
Okay, well, in the US, all the major carriers are starting to look in this space. And today, the maximum level of coverage you may be able to buy is between $200 to $300 million of coverage. Well, that's not going to be enough. Some of these losses, where they relate to assets, I referenced Sony a moment or two ago, the losses there are substantially greater than that. So we're going to have to provide opportunities for corporations to buy much higher towers of cover. But that is again all about evolving the intellectual knowledge and understanding of where these risks are going to come from. Around the world, the US is leading in this space. Let's have no doubt about it. It's significantly further ahead than London. And if you look at Asia and Latin America, cyberspace, cyber insurance is really still not on the agenda to many corporations. It's going to have to be. And we're beginning to start to provide that advisory nature to the advice we're giving our clients. But the US unquestionably is leading this space.
All right, thanks a lot, Dominic.
Not at all.
And thank you for watching The Street.